Judy Bryngelson, John's favorite sister. There's lots of pictures and lots of memories because I've known him the longest. Without John, I wouldn't have known the names of the 48 state capitals or the names, heights, and positions of all the players on the Minneapolis Lakers team. The drills always took place while doing dishes. The threat of his wet, rolled-up dish towel being snapped my way always prompted me to be especially quick to answer. Timing was important. He went on to teach me to shovel snow, clip dead tree branches, make paths in the woods at 10 Mile, or tip our red canoe for fun, or shoot baskets through the hoop on our garage. Later on, he typed letters from Germany on how I could deal with problems in college. More recently, I've depended on his financial advice and enjoyed his suggestions on good books to read. A favorite old memory is the two of us taking our rowboat to the middle of the lake on a calm sunny day, along with our books and maybe a Sunday paper to read. Because it was too deep to drop anchor, we read and floated. And when it got hot, we'd jump out for a swim, then return to reading back inside the boat. Too good not to repeat many times. Growing up, it was wonderful for me to always have him there, and I know he always will be. Happy birthday to my favorite brother, from Judy. Tom Lamont. My sister Lynn and I went to Fulton Grade School and Southwest High School with John and Judy. I played tennis with John at Southwest. I have two sports-related memories. First was in the spring of 1955. I came to Northfield representing Cornell College in Iowa to play tennis at the Midwest Conference Championships and saw John win for Carleton. Some years later, when I came to Minneapolis for a Minnesota alumni gathering of hospital administrators, John gave a couple of us a squash lesson at the Minneapolis Athletic Club. Happy birthday, John. Tom Lamont. Lynn and Dick Warden. My brother Tom and I have known John and Judy since grade school. We started traveling with the Green Valley Group in 1998. We've had such wonderful times and lots of fun with them. The worst part of dealing with our age group is remembering just when we took all these trips. In the photos we sent, John has not changed, so I could not determine the year by what he looks like. We had a lot of fun and great experiences, and we look forward to January in Green Valley with them. Lynn and Dick Warden. Lester and Myra Siegel. I've known John from the time we entered Carleton College as freshmen in 1951. We teamed up to play doubles and also singles on the varsity tennis team for 4 years. Bring had a big forehand drive. My backhand was good, and we won almost every match during those years. Bring and I both majored in economics, thus sharing many courses. I always felt a little jealous of John being the teacher's pet of Ada M. Harrison, head of the department. Just kidding, John. For the past number of years, John and Carolyn have met us in Tucson for an annual golf outing followed by a late afternoon meal. It's given me the opportunity of getting to know Carolyn. She's been very patient while John and I recall our college days. John, we've shared 62 of our 80 years as good buddies. It's been a fun relationship with many fond memories, lots of humorous stories, and many laughs. Myra joins me in wishing you a happy 80th and many, many more. Best, Lester Siegel. Marcy Eckert.
Hi, my name is Marcy, and I'm John's youngest daughter. I have good memories from when Dad and Carolyn lived in North Oak. We would go for hikes, and it was always so much fun playing ping pong in the basement and having such wonderful meals that Carolyn cooked. I also enjoyed going out to dinner on my birthdays. Dad would always let us choose where we wanted to go, so that was always a treat. One of the most fun things was at the cabin with Dad and Carolyn. We enjoyed having meals in the screened-in porch, playing tennis, boating over to Aunt Judy's cabin, playing with Nellie, and going for hikes. I also remember Kylie learning how to climb up the stairs for the first time at the cabin, and we were all so excited. The most recent fond memories with Dad and Carolyn are when they treated us all to a trip to Turks and Caicos. That was so much fun going snorkeling, playing the family games, going on the boat, swimming, walking along the beach, and eating really good food. That was the best trip. We all love you so much, Dad and Grandpa, and we hope you have the best birthday ever.
I met John and Carolyn back in the fall of 1998 at Desert Hills Country Club in Green Valley. John is much older than I am. He having been born sometime in November 1933, and my birthday was not until December of 1933, so since meeting him, I have always relished his sage advice, that of an older, respected man. We have had many memorable moments on the golf course, but most of all, I enjoy the philosophical discussions we had. John is a great conversationalist. Thanks for inviting me to send an 80th birthday tribute to John. Well, needless to say, I am proud to be a friend of John Bryngelson. God bless John and Carolyn.
Ralph and Marilyn Vinson, Judy Miller and Jerry Wall. We met Carlin and John through our friendship with Cindy and Bo Reed. We have been fortunate over the years to have been able to spend some great time together, including their attendance at our wedding in Maui in 2000. At our golf tournament there, with the wind blowing at gale force and all complaining, where John made one of his classic quotes. It was blowing at least this hard in Scotland when I played there, but was raining so hard I couldn't see out of my glasses. This isn't bad at all. Always that positive attitude and quick wit, which is why we love him so much. John, we always enjoy the pleasure of your and Carolyn's company. Happy birthday. We love you. Dan Bryngelson. Happy 80th birthday, Dad. My life and the lives of my brother and sisters have been shaped by the decision you made over 40 years ago. You decided to adopt 4 children. You got me, and I got a chance at the kind of life all children deserve. Dad, I love you with all my heart. Happy birthday, Dan. Bill and Karen Good. John is without a doubt the best putter in our golf group. We all wanted him for a partner because he is a very steady player and seemed to bring out the best in his partner. We shared a fondness for the same bourbon, and he has an amazing recall of rivers, their tributaries, and headwaters. We have some great memories of back road travel and how quiet he would become when questioning my judgment about driving skills, or if that road we were on even qualified as a foot trail. It seemed to cause some question in his mind when he could not see the road in front of us when going up or down very steep trails. Early on, we found he was a trusted friend and one you could always count on. His smile and laugh are infectious. Happy birthday, Juan Dos, Bill, and Karen. Brad and Ann Tate. We love John. We've gone on a couple trips with him to Mexico. What a guy. Bob and Jan Hall, friends from Green Valley. We both have fond memories of traveling with John and Carolyn to Mexico and also to Colorado and playing bridge and parties in Green Valley. But our favorite story about John is the time we hosted a party at our house and the theme was, he cooks. Well, we found out he can't. I had the guys come an hour early to the party, made chef's hats for them, made up the menu, and bought all of the ingredients, and their challenge was to prepare this gourmet dinner for the gals. Anyway, let's just say John was a good sport. John does many things well, and cooking is not one of them. But please let them know we love them and miss them down here, and that if they don't come back soon, we might forget who they are. P.S. Let me know when we get to tell stories about Carolyn. Carol and Don Jenny. Hi, John. Many good wishes on this special day. We are saving a birthday hug for you when you return. Well, I am, maybe not Don. We look forward to seeing you when you get back to the land of beautiful sunsets. And speaking of sunsets, may you have many more to come. Happy birthday, Don and Carol Jenny.
Sue Lynch, John's oldest daughter. One of my many fond memories with my dad and Carolyn was spending time at their cabin, listening to stories about Toby and Susu the Woods Girl, banging on the TV for sound, using a large rock on the radio, playing aggravation, all-star baseball, tennis, and playing with the Vislas. Also taking me to chemotherapy sessions and then whisking me away to the cabin to recuperate. But most of all, I remember Dad planting seedlings and nurturing them just enough to find their way in the world. You do this with your family as well. You are a wonderful dad, and the best gift you have given me is being able to observe Mama and you planting the seeds of a relationship with my son that has blossomed with time. You introduced him to politics and sports from an early age at the cabin, reading the newspaper and following the twins' box scores, which are still the bulk of your weekly phone conversations. He adores you both as much as I do. Happy birthday. Love, Sue, Tom, and Trevor Lynch.
Jim Waldo. I met John when he managed the growth fund at IDS. I was scheduling a visit from Bob Farrell, our iconic chief market analyst at Merrill Lynch, and an expert tennis player. I asked who was our best tennis player and found out that by far it was John. Alice Waldo. I met John and Carlin in Sarajevo for the Winter Olympics in 1984. We jumped into a wonderful friendship. Since then, we've shared so many gatherings, such as Carolyn's surprise 50th birthday at 10 Mile Lake. We traveled together to Ireland, Budapest, Venice, and so much more. Our friendship endures, and certainly you have expanded our horizons. John, you are leading the way into our 80s. For us, like the trees you planted, keeping us rooted but branching out. We're so glad you were born. Happy big birthday, Alice and Jim Waldo. Ed and Judy Korf. I first met our birthday boy in 1972 when I joined IDS and worked with John and John Wilkie in portfolio management. The contrast between the two were essentially style versus substance. Wilkie was all hat and no cattle, while John owned the ranch. He wanted to know and understand his portfolio companies. Moreover, he metaphorically didn't want any old oak trees on his ranch. John wanted seedlings that he can watch grow and prosper. Maybe this was a reflection of all the planting and tending he did at the lake. And since then, our wives and us have traveled all over the world. Our photo albums are filled with the good times that we've shared, not only overseas, but 10 Mile Lake, Santa Fe, Green Valley, and Montana are all part of our memories. Happy birthday, my friend, Edward and Judy Korf.
I worked for John at IDS for almost 20 years. It was a real joy to work for him. His handwriting was suspect, though. It was so tiny and hard to read. This was back in the day when secretaries answered the phones and did typing. John liked to take a power nap in the afternoons, so he would lie on the floor in his office and put his feet up against the door. I remember my husband and I going in to surprise him for a 50th birthday party for John at his house in North Oaks in November of 1983. John was really shocked. He had no clue there was going to be a party. Carolyn did a great job pulling that one off. I really enjoyed the lunches with John and Carolyn during Secretary's Week each year in April. Happy 80th birthday, John, and best wishes for many more.
Sue Nora. Maureen and John King. We have known John for 40 years, so it's hard to know where to begin. John is a steady, dependable friend. He took up golf late in life and has become a very good golfer. And in bridge, he excels. We also found him to be a good travel companion, as we have traveled to many, many countries with him and Carlin. We wonder if he ever found the keel-billed toucan in Belize. And then there was Temple number 5. The stories go on and on and on. We are lucky to have known him. Thank goodness that I threw my lingerie in the wrong suitcase. Happy birthday to a great friend, Maureen and John King. Dad, I don't even know where to begin, but thank you. You've been a real blessing not only to Ashton and Regan and I, but to all of us. These photos and the memories are things we will always cherish. Your honesty, your integrity, your compassion, your generosity, your love are all things to be modeled. Happy birthday, Dad. I love you. Regan Bryngelson.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. I hope you have a great day. I enjoy spending time with you every year when we come out. Thank you for the wonderful trips you've taken us on. I love you and will cherish them always. Happy birthday.
Fred and Marion Gamble.
When we were asked to write something about you, we both came up with the same word, character. You are a gentleman in the truest sense of the word, kind, considerate, and great to be around. You listen, question, and have a special twinkle in your eyes when you laugh. And then there's the bionic man with his replaced hips and knees. Who would ever guess that you are sporting artificial joints when you pound the golf ball down the fairways like a pro? You're even complimentary and patient to those of us who are not in your league. John, you have a most gracious attitude and presence about you, which always makes it a pleasure to be in your company. Happy 80th birthday, dear friend. Our lives have been enriched just by having you in them.
Fred and Marion Gamble. Carl and Faye. 18 years of great friendship began when we both moved to Windermere Ridge. There have been many games of golf and hands of bridge. We've always admired his discipline in keeping a daily diary. There have been numerous times when he has been able to tell us exactly where we were on a given day 2 or more years before. We've enjoyed traveling with Carolyn and John to Maui, China, and Southeast Asia. On our trips with Oat, we have met 2 couples with whom we've become friends. We've enjoyed China reunions in Green Valley, Scottsdale, Littleton, and Colorado Springs, where golf was always a feature. John always posted the low score. Closer to home, we've had great fun visiting Crete and Trinidad, Colorado, combining golf and theater. Happy 80th birthday, John, Carl, and Faye. Ron and Jean Birdsong.
We live 2 doors away from John and Carolyn in Green Valley. They are never here. In fact, we missed them so much last summer we had to take a train to Denver to see them. It works out okay, though, because we have a key to their place and we just invite all our friends and kids to come and stay there, which keeps our house from getting messed up. Happy birthday, John, from Ron and Gina Birdsong.
This is from the Bushong Reed families. Cindy Reed, daughter of Carolyn, her husband Bo, and daughters Carly, and Ellery, and
Steve Bushong, that's me, and son of Carolyn, my wife Katie, sons Ryan and Jack, and of course all of the Reed and Bushong dogs, past and present.
John, you became part of our family in 1981, and we became part of yours.
And John, you gave us so many great memories with the family gatherings up at the lake cabin, and of course, you let our mom be her crazy self, and you always made sure there was room on your dock for another dog.
Or 3. You were there to help with when the Reed family first got started, and were there with Carly and Ellie as they grew up. We even saw you let your hair down with the girls, so to speak. And you were there with the Reed family on some of its adventures, including the long hike to base camp on Aconcagua. And you were part of our celebrations as our girls grew up, graduated, and began their lives on their own. You were also present at Charlie's college graduation.
You were also there when Kitty and I got married, and so was our whole family. And after all your experience with raising your own kids, all the grandkids, we tested your mettle with the twins, and you answered the call, both at the beginning and at every step of the way. Always helping our family have new adventures, and you were always the good sport, even if it meant that you got stuck holding the crawfish pole and the boys got distracted.
But probably more than anything, we remember and cherish all of the wonderful family time together with you, Mom, all the kids, grandkids, and dogs. We thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you. And look forward to more memories.
More memories. Okay, that's pretty good.
Ted Gemlich. Congratulations, John, on becoming an octogenarian. If all goes well, I'll be joining you in 2014. I'm remembering fondly of a couple of my favorite trips together. Belize, where the bird watching was great and the accommodations were luxurious. And Cinque-Terre, where we held hands in the kissing chair. Many happy returns and best wishes to you and Carlin. Ted Gemlich. Joy Riley. John and Carolyn traveled with about 12 couples on 2 trips to Mexico. Mexican breakfast in El Fuerte. Mexican travelers. Picnic lunch in the wild woods. No restrooms, but plenty of tequila and good food cooked outdoors. Some of the travelers enjoying the campfire. The Apache Cave. The only way to get to the cave, pretty steep. Inside the cave. We planned our trip over a few libations. Seems as though we were always eating. Waiting while the ladies shopped. Happy birthday, John. Joy Riley. Ellery Reed. Here are my memories of Pooch. Stealing my teddy bear every morning and hiding it from me. Always hiding behind the door when we played hide-and-go-seek. Making the best mashed potatoes for every major holiday. Falling asleep at every movie and play that he attends. Writing in his journal every day. His Christmas gifts are always books, but instead of signing his own name, he signs the author's name. He has been at every single major event in my life since I was born. This includes every soccer and lacrosse game, dance and palms competition, Grandparents' Day, May Day, graduation, debutante ball, and birthday. He has even watched me ski from the gondola in Steamboat and has traveled to California to watch some of my college lacrosse games. Happy birthday, Pooch. Chuck and Gladys Utah. I've had the privilege of knowing John for the past 50-plus years through working at IDS. John was a portfolio manager, and I became in charge of the trading department. About 24 years ago, John heard about a trip to Hawaii we were planning and called to see if he and Carolyn could join us. We all had a great time, including a helicopter trip. Carolyn questioned how long the pilot had been flying, and he said, "All day, ma'am," and we lifted off. Later, he mentioned that he'd been a pilot in Vietnam. That became the first of many memorable trips together. We look forward to our friendship still growing in the years to come. One could never find a more loyal, true friend than John. We wish him a very happy birthday. Love to him on this special day, Chuck and Gladys Utah.
As we all know, John is a very special person. In his business life, he was very respected and well known for the excellent work he did. He enjoyed his many friends, whether playing sports, cards, talking about old times, discussing how different sports teams are doing, or traveling. With John's 4 children and mine too, we became a family of 8 when we married 32 and a half years ago. With marriages and the arrival of our grandchildren, there are now 22 of us. Family is very important to John, and he loves it when we are all together, whether it is on one of our special family trips to interesting places, or just being around the house, watching or playing games, taking a walk, or just visiting. Thanksgiving is always pretty wild with everyone gathering, including several dogs, but I know he loves it. In fact, it is nice for John to have his birthday fall when so many of you are here. Marcy and John, we are sorry you could not make it this year, but know that we miss you. We both have often said how lucky we are. We feel very fortunate and have many happy and funny memories and hope you all feel the same. I speak for both of us when I say we love you all very much. John, thank you for being part of this wonderful journey we are on. I love you.